is only thing that keeps me up when I'm feeling.
Greetings, soul family. This is your girl Twilight Ma'at, and I am coming to you today with the good dick, good pussy, bad pussy theory. Now, ultimately, this title, it sounds a little racy, but I'm going to tell you we're going to get into some really great high sciences, food for the spirit and food for the mind. So just bear with me here, because obviously any controversial topic that I present to you is because we're going to deal with all layers. We're going to deal with the spirit realm, but we're also going to deal with the real realm and the way that we look at things nowadays. And we're not going to negate the fact that, hey, we call the yoni or the vagina a pussy, and we call the phallus or penis a dick. So, we're just going to keep it 100, but we are definitely going to get into something really food for the soul. So that being said, I want to talk about vibrational matches. And I want to start this off by saying that there are always three components that are always happening in our existence. And the first component is going to be spiritual. The second is going to be scientific. And the third is going to be physical. I can relate that very easily to the effects of meditation. Meditation has a spiritual component, which is you reach higher level chakras, higher realms, and energetic wise, you are able to tap into higher frequencies. Scientifically, you secrete a neurotransmitter called endorphins. You also secrete neurotransmitters called serotonin, and if you look it up, you'll find that biologically science has been able to link meditation, being able to clear your mind, to secreting more endorphins, more serotonin, which makes you more happy and lighter. And then the physical component is physically you feel better. Physically you feel good. So ultimately, we really have to understand that with everything that we do, there's always going to be something made way spiritually, scientifically, and physically before it occurs. Now, I talked to a lot of different people, and through my research and through the surveying and observation and my own experience, I have noticed that people don't recognize the spiritual aspect that is always ever present in anything that is occurring in their life. So a lot of people come and they say, well, Twilight, I'm in this relationship with someone and I don't know if they're quite right for me. I'm coming into the awakening, especially a lot of us who are coming into the awakening and the knowledge of self. And it's like we're looking at that other person and they sleep as hell, and we just like, why won't you wake up? And we're trying to force it, and we're not understanding that our relationship with that person has a spiritual component to it. And it's just not going to go away, because the spirit is the core. It is the core reason for our unity with that person. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, a lot of people understand law of attraction, but they don't understand that law of attraction, that word and that mentality and even that whole protocol is just a faceplate for the law of vibration. Everything is energy. Everything is vibrating. So when we look at, say prior to you meeting your mate, and this goes to the good dick, bad dick theory. Prior to you meeting your mate, you were vibrating on a lower frequency. You had a void to fill because your last relationship kind of blew up in your face. You lost someone close to you, so you really just was looking for something. You were feeling insecure about yourself, so you decided, hey, I'm going to get in this relationship. This is going to help me. And we do it all the time, right? And you vibrated close to that person. Now, ask yourself a true introspective question. How often do you feel feelings of inferiority, inadequacy, insecurity, so on and so forth? How often do you truly feel this way? And let me also say this. Repressing our emotions is the oldest trick in the book. Western society has got you guys so pragmatic, logical, and rational. You're not even paying attention to the energy that is vibrating from your core. Because no matter how polished you are on the outside, if you are repressing your emotions on the inside, that becomes a part of your shadow. And that toxicity contaminates your vibration. Guaranteed. So if you're out repressing your emotion, you're not fooling the universe. The universe sees it, knows it, and it is constantly bringing back to you and mirroring to you that which you do not wish to deal with. So we have to dig deep and go to the core root of what we're actually vibrating on. So if you're real with yourself and you say, hey, sometimes I do feel insecure. Yo, sometimes I do feel inadequate. Yo, and I don't really deal with it. Well, that's becoming a part of your shadow. That's contaminating your vibration. That signal that you are sending out from your energetic frequency is what is, I can guarantee you, is attracting people to you. That vibration is what we are talking about when we say like attracts like. But also in addition to that, it's not so simple that you're exactly the same. That's not what like attracts like means. Like attract likes means that that vibration was on the same level. So at one point, you could have been feeling insecure or inadequate. You vibrated it dominant enough to attract someone who had a similar vibration. Or, you know, you're a nurturer, a healer, and you just lost someone. And then you get someone who is feeling low, feeling down. Now they need someone to bring them up, and you need someone to focus on to take your mind off of whatever crappy situation you on. You guys come together because at that time you are vibrating both on a low frequency. You're vibrating on a frequency of a void needing to be filled, or feeling sadness or shame or guilt or loss. You see what I'm saying? So that is what the definition of like attract likes it actually means. It is the law of vibration. Now, when we talk about that, we have to be real with ourselves. We have to look at what we're vibrating on, and then that's why we can tell what we're bringing into our existence, what we are manifesting. That's how you get to the root core of shifting your vibration. Moving right along, I want to say that I recognize that men are much better with this than women are. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Sorry, ladies. When men feel like, and I don't give a shit if their vibration was low beforehand, when men feel like a woman is not contributing energetically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally to what they're trying to accomplish, they're not going to waste a bunch of fucking time.
Get your shit.
And I'm going to tell you another thing. They could go to that woman's house, they could hit, smash, whatever you want to call it, and then they out of there. And they're never thinking about trying to cultivate a relationship with this person. And I can tell you one thing too. Most guys, or at least more than women, even though some guys get caught up in this trap, do not let good pussy deter them away from what they're trying to accomplish. They do not let good pussy manipulate their mind from trying to align themselves with a woman who actually aligns with their purpose and their focus. Now, if a guy doesn't truly know himself, he doesn't truly know where he's going, he may let a good, pleasurable sexual experience deter him. Now, women, we're more likely to, if we are being pleased in the bedroom, to gloss over some very important details about a particular relationship. We'll forget that we got a purpose. We'll forget that we are going somewhere with our lives, and then we'll kind of start to compromise way more than what we should. And then as we look later on down the line, we're wondering why we feel we're at a deficit, why we feel we're hurt. Now, the difference between those two things metaphysically is when you tap into the yoni, the vagina, that's the back door to the subconscious. It is represented by the sacral chakra. If you know what the sacral chakra is, it's the second chakra. It's the color orange. Orange has a vibration at a frequency. Colors have frequencies, people. And with that being said, it dominates creation. it deals with sexuality, and that is also part of one of the founding components to the divine feminine energy. That being said, when he tapped that spot, when he goes past that wall that you have up, that you may have had up for other men, and one of my girls, Miss Butterfly, brought this up, and she said, you know, it's this thing, like when a man is inside of your vagina and he hits that spot, you know how some of us will pull away like, no. But when we're healing, or when we're in the healed process, or when we feel comfortable with a man, we let him all the way in. And that's, you know, that's the purpose of him going deep. But please understand, this is not just the sexual aspect of it. The sexual aspect of it is just one component. What it really truly means is you have let him in a way that you probably will not let in other guys. Once a woman lets a man in like that, unfortunately, she kind of loses her marbles. It kind of all goes to that pleasure sensation chakra, and she's more likely to allow someone who doesn't necessarily fit for her goals into her life. And I'm going to tell you another reason why. Men are programmed to believe that their root chakra and their willpower chakra is the fundamental things that they need to do to determine the potency of masculine energy. Root chakra deals with security and finance. Solar plexus chakra deals with willpower, so and self-concept. So as long as they have those two things in order, boom, they own the money. Women are programmed more so with their sacral chakra and their heart chakra in this Western society. The sacral chakra deals with creation, and obviously the heart chakra deals with compassion. And because we're so programmed to have these distinct energies separate from one another, even though they're supposed to be in balance, women refer to that programming during a sexual experience, which then causes them to get off their game. Because we need to be cultivating that masculine and that feminine energy, not just one or the other. Both sexes need to be doing that. So the point that I'm making to you is, women, we can learn a lot from the men, because the men are a whole lot better at staying focused and choosing partners that wrap around their focus. You see? So when it comes down to it, when we look at this good dick, good pussy, bad pussy, I'm going to help you understand something. If that person is not contributing positively to your overall objectives in life, especially if you are aligned in divine purpose, then you are not with the right partner. And unfortunately, if you were vibrating on a low frequency and then that caused you to get into a relationship that built some sort of false sense of security and euphoria, obviously, I'm not an expert in marriage counseling or anything like that, but when you start to grow, if you're not as fortunate to have a partner that wants to expand with you, you can't get upset because you got with them under the premise of a low vibrational context. So therefore, that's the relationship you in. And if you let him in a way, bow, where that penis hit that back door, that subconscious mind, and he starts sending out codes, because I want you to know, and I'm going to say this in the second video, I want you to know that sperm is life force energy. It is Ka. We know this scientifically because it will help you to have a what? Child. So when that sperm sends codes into your Yoniverse, and you will birth whatever codes that man puts into you with his sperm, with his Ka, with his ejaculation. There are codes that are encoded into that sperm. Absolutely. And so this is why certain tantric, yogic, modalities will say that when a man ejaculates, he loses more life. And that is true to an extent. He begins to lose a certain level of life force. So, but he is still putting codes into you, and you may not birth his actual baby, but you are birthing something. And whether that be joy or misery, whatever you have chosen in your mate, the male, and for whatever reason you guys vibrationally attracted because you weren't dealing with or healing from a specific situation, is exactly the encoding and the programming that he is going to put right into your Yoniverse. All right, so this is part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. Uncle Jasanu.
Drug dealing and killing is going on in my town. It don't take a killer to kill or a driller to drill. See, just being yourself is the definition of